Hello again, it's Noob, and this video has been requested by quite a few people over all of my different social media channels. So I'm really glad that I can bring this to you. So this is a review of the Thunderbird lockpick set recently released by Sparrows Lockpicks. Before I carry on though, a couple of standard disclaimers. This set was sent to me by Sparrows Lockpicks. That means I can do the review, which is really great. So thank you to Sparrows Lockpicks for that. But they don't control anything I say, and all views expressed are my own. I have, however, collaborated on certain designs and concepts with Sparrows over the years, some which you'll probably know about already. But I don't make any money off sales of any Sparrows products, so whether you buy this or not, it's really up to you. So, right, that's all the boring stuff out of the way. Let's crack on. What is the Thunderbird pick set? Let's have a quick look. Better I show you rather than describe it, I think. Look at this. There you go. It is a collection of 8 partial tang lockpicks in instrument grade American cherry in that classic super strong Sparrows steel in 25 thousandths of an inch, all done to a high polish with a stain applied over those picks, and they have aluminium pins in there to make sure that the partial tang is held in nice and tightly and provides all that feedback. You also get, and we'll look at these in a minute, we get some packs of tension tools as well. But yeah, I think when you just look at that, I think it looks great. Clearly, whether you like that style and colour and choice and all the rest of it is entirely subjective, but for me, my personal taste, I really like these. I also really like this, actually, and again, you may disagree, but that sort of pinstriped logo on the tin, it's not a super thick tin, but it's a really nice presentation in matte black with the pinstriping. Yeah, again, that might appeal to you, might not, but I think I quite like it. Okay, so here are the picks. Let's just take one. I don't know if they are in the right order. I have taken these out and put them back in so many times, just having a look at them. I can't remember which order they're in, but we'll just have a look at this one because it's I don't know the profile. I think it's like a Tron or something like that. But these are all some really classic Sparrows lockpicks profiles, and I know that they will appeal to a lot of people. So let's have a look. Let's start at the working end. I think you can appreciate the shine on this. So it's clearly polished up. I don't know how they do it, but it's polished up particularly nicely. Got a really nice polish on these. So, you know, Sparrow steel's great in my experience, very strong, but to have that polish on, it just means you don't need to do any finishing yourself. It looks great. It'll glide in and out of the lock nicely. The wood, that American instrument grade cherry, trying to get that to focus in for you nicely. There you go. You can see that getting there really nicely for you. It's got that stain on it, which gives that little luster, which you may or may not like. I kind of like it. I think that I might try putting a little neutral wax on there as well, just to give it a little bit more shine. But I think as it comes out, that sort of satin finish is quite appealing. Those are those aluminium pins here, and you can see how they fit in. The stain's been applied over the top, but I don't think that's much of a big deal. And yeah, they're quite thin as well, which is really nice, because the wider they are, the harder it is to use a lockpick. And these are about 3 or 4 millimeters, which is, to my experience, just about right for a lockpick. You know, anything over, 4 or 5 millimeters is a little bit thick for my taste, but other people might like that. The handles are nice and long. They're a bit longer than your standard Sparrows handles. In fact, I actually have a ruler here, and you can see that these are the handles themselves are more or less 10 centimeters long, and the picks go to around just over 14 centimeters there. So that's quite nice and long, which means that they're a bit more comfortable in the hand. I like that length anyway. As you can see, the partial tang goes about, if not all the way, to halfway down the pick, which is quite nice. You want that because you want the feedback to convey from the pick tip all the way through the handle, and the pins certainly help with that and give it stability and rigidity as well. Partial tang means it's a bit lighter, but you don't compromise the feedback, because obviously this is part of the pick isn't where you really have that feedback, it's in your fingertips. So that's just one of them. So let's have a look at these profiles all together. So we have what I think is something like the Tron. We've got the Worm Rake. Is that the Low HD? I think, I can't remember. So if I get any of these wrong, you just point it out in the comments. We've got a classic short hook there, and you can see the shine on all of these. And actually, they're so shiny that if I put my fingerprints on them, they come up straight away. So yeah, keep your fingers away from that end. You got a classic city rake there, a double peak. I don't know whether I like the double peak or the snake rake more, but they pretty much cover the same job. And this is a really nice one. Let's have a look at how they polished the internals of that as well. I mean, that's pretty nice, isn't it? It looks like a good job to me. Then what else do we have? Oh yeah, a classic triple rake there. That's really nice and shiny. I like that one. And finally, looks like their Euro hook. There we go. In terms of consistency, let's have a look at how consistent these are. I'll turn them the right way around so we get them all together. So these are made in collaboration with a violin luthier's. Henceforth, I guess the instrument grade cherry wood being used. But I've got to say that for intents and purposes, a mass-produced pick, although I can't imagine they make these in huge quantities, the consistency in terms of the overall finish, thickness and shape is superb. I've got no idea how they do that, but when you all line them up, I'll try and do the best I can, like that. The consistency across those picks is really, really great. They've all got a nice roundness to them. That's that side. I'll turn over so you can get everything in high def there. There you go. So the consistency across them is pretty good. The only thing I've found is a couple of tiny things here, which are on some of them, the ends here aren't quite filled, so the first pick there aren't quite filled with glue all the way to the end. Does that make a difference other than aesthetically? No, not at all actually. And sometimes, I'm just trying to find one, like I said, they're pretty consistent, so sometimes again you find that the flush finish on the underside isn't quite there by a couple of like a tenth of a millimeter, maybe a couple of tenths, so really not big. I think, like I said, for picks which are obviously made in a factory and consistently, they're surprisingly consistent actually, I have to say. Whether you like the design and length and colour and all these, it's entirely subjective. It all depends on what you like. I'll just put those down for a minute before I get all those beautiful shiny tips covered in my fingerprints. I did wash my hands first, but it's amazing how that often doesn't make much of a difference. Right, let me open up. I haven't opened these up yet. Let's see what bottom of the keyway tensioners you get. So it's nice you get quite a few of these. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So you get a couple of double-ended tension tools there. Oh, 3. All different thicknesses in terms of their widths, which is quite nice. Get 3 different Z-type tools. That, of course, is great because you get essentially 6 different tensioners. Then you get some twisted ones. These are a bit springier, and some people love them, some people don't like them as much, but you get 3 of those, and again they come in 3 different widths. So those are the sort of bottom of the keyway tools. Then we get some of the Sparrows pry bar style tension tools here, and again that's a double-ended, so you get 5 of these, both double ends, 1 short end, 1 long end. Obviously you've got like a flat bar one there. You've got, I think, 3 different thicknesses. I think they come in 0.8, 1 and 1.2 millimeters thicknesses, so they cover all the sort of bases. So you get an awful lot of tension options with the set too, which I really like. So far, I think so good. But I think we should go and do some lock picking, and then we'll come back and we'll conclude what I think to this pick set. So first up, we have quite a nice big chunky Abus 8290, and we're just going to show the keys. There we go. Quite nice bitting on this one, and just going to bottom of the keyway with a Euro hook, actually, one of these ones with a little point. Gives you that just tiny little extra reach. Let's see where we are in the lock. So that's 3 there, 2 there, a touch on 1, and it's already into a bit of a false set. Okay, wiggle down that keyway. So nothing on 6. I think it's 6-pin lock. 5, 4. Little click there. 3, 2. Oh, just touch 2, and we have an open. This particular lock is a great one for demonstrating the power of a triple peak. For some reason, it just always falls to a good rake with one of these. So here is that nice shiny example, which I've already got my fingerprints on. Just going to do a bit of top of the keyway tension, and this is very, very light, like super feather light tension on this. Hope I don't lose my, there we go, I've got an open. I was hoping I didn't, using such light tension, I didn't want to slip with this. It's actually got 5 security pins in, spool pins in there, but if you just use, it's a very, very light raking, always goes for the triple peak. I couldn't resist picking this beautiful Yale close shackle padlock. Just too lovely to miss up, really. So I'm going to pop that in. Hard keyway tension, this one. It's not a standard Yale keyway from what I can tell. So I'm going to use this very thick tension tool and try to get tension in that lock the best I can. Like that. And then use a short hook. We're going to see where we get to, picking it off this warding ledge. That's 5, 3, 2 into a full set. Try to get 1, counter rotation, hit 1, but we've dropped something else. 2, there we go, got it back. Yeah, 1's picked now, that's good. Back to the back, that's 6. Go back through, see if I've dropped something. Yeah, that's 2. 1 still picked, that's good. Back into our full set. Feels like 3 now. Gentle, gentle, and we are open. You just can't beat a classic city rope profile for some of these super low security locks. So let's pop some tension in, get our city rake up in there, and under some light tension. Yeah, there we go. That easy. With these locks with little tight keyways, I thought that this profile here would be quite nice. It's got quite a low glide to the tip, so it should be able to go in there. And this is a lovely little lock with lots of little spools in. It's going back through the lock. That's 4, 2, and 1 there into a bit of a false set. Feels like 3 needs to be set. Just gentle, gentle, gentle. Bit of counter rotation. There we go. See if anything at the back. Nothing on 5. Nothing on 4, 3. Pin 2, and we are open. So clearly they're very capable, and I found that they gave really, really nice feedback, and that polish, they just glide in and out of the lock. They don't catch up on any warding or anything. Just really nice. And if you've never had like a polish set like that, then or not polish your own picks up, then you know, do try just polishing up some picks, and you'll see what I'm talking about. It really does make a difference. Not like a massive difference, but certainly a difference. Anyway, conclusions. I think we need to start at the price. These aren't a cheap set. They're just not a cheap set. They come in at 299 Canadian dollars, which is around 175 UK pounds. Obviously, depending on when you saw this, exchange rates and blah, blah, blah. But that's today's prices at the point of filming. Now, that isn't small amounts of money. However, I think you've got to bear in mind that if you were going to buy a partial tang polished lockpick in wood, pinned up nicely and stained, prices could be from a good reputable craftsman somewhere around £45 to £150, depending on who you're buying it from and the specification materials used and all those kind of things. These, when you break it down, come to around £20 per pick. And I also don't know any other major manufacturer who's producing a wooden handle partial tang pinned polished set like this at all. So you get that consistency of manufacturer and the steel and the finish and the size and shape of all your picks from buying something like this. Now, I think that means that this is, all in all, considering the overall finish and quality and consistency of these picks, I would argue this is almost a bargain. That doesn't mean I think it's cheap, because I think this will be out of the reach of a lot of people, and that could be a negative. I don't think they sell these picks individually. Maybe they will do later on. So that's something to bear in mind. But nevertheless, I think if you consider how much, even a modestly priced custom pick would cost you of a similar finish, these are actually, like I said, really quite good value considering. That doesn't mean, as I said, that they're cheap. I think that, so just keeping on the positives then, I really do like the thickness of the picks, the length, the feel of them. I quite like the colour. The polish you get on the picks is really good, and I think in general the consistency is relatively good. It's not absolutely perfect, but it is relatively good. Downsides. I love the selection of picks and rakes in here. I actually do. These are all very popular profiles. I've had a lot of people talk about these profiles before, and they're some of their favourites. But a medium hook would have been absolutely awesome. I'd probably swapped out probably this one or the Euro hook just for a medium hook. That would have given me a bit more range to pick a few more locks. That would have been my choice. I'm not sure of the washing over the pins with the stain. Does it really bother me? No, not that much, I guess. And sometimes, I don't know if you can see there are little bits of stain which just appear on the underside of the hook. I scrape it off with my fingernail, but again, it's just one of those things I noticed, and it's worth passing on. So in terms of negatives, medium hook would have been nice. Maybe just that extra, maybe 5% of finish would have been super nice. But when you consider the price and the general consistency of these picks, I don't really have a lot to complain about there. I think for me it's the medium hook. The only other thing I'd say is once I've used the tin, if I was going to actually use these, and I think they're in that price range where I wouldn't just have them for display, I'd actually use these. I would probably want to just buy myself like a bifold or trifold set, so I can put these tension tools in. Sparrows do like one of my favourite ones, just like I think it's the Sherman case, something like that. Anything really, just would have been nice. So if you're going to use these, I would recommend getting a case as well. The tin's great, but just for ease of access, I think that would have been better. I didn't say the positives actually, but I really like the amount of tension tools you get in this. Really, loads of good options. I think that's really about all my conclusions. I think all this will come down to is, do you think this is good value yourself? I think those in the know might actually go, yeah, actually considering how much a custom pick normally costs with wooden handles, partial tang, polished and pinned. These are really nice. Some people might say, actually, I prefer to, buy two really nice custom picks from a craftsman, and leave it there. That's good enough for me. Some people will probably just love this, and this might be the best way for some people to get something close to a a handmade custom pick from a single designer for their budget, and get a huge range of picks for the money. It's hard to really say where you stand on this, but I think I'll know where you stand on it if you write a comment down below, because one, it really helps my channel out, and two, genuinely, I'm really interested to know what you think of these. What do you think to the pick choices, the overall finish? What do you think to the prices? Do you like the design? Do you like the box it comes in? Do you agree with me? Do you disagree with me? Whatever you think, put it below. I actually read all comments, and I reply to as many of them as I can. Which, if you've commented on my videos before, you'll know. So if you like this video, please do give it a like, and if you haven't subscribed and you like content like this, please do subscribe, and see you all next time.